Hey, it's White Boy Chris. If the Pat Downs ever made you laugh, then join our Patreon and support us. Get bonus content, a t-shirt, or an autographed copy of Rabbit, Miss Pat's autobiography. Visit MissPatComedy.com for the link to the Patreon, and while you're there, join our Facebook group.
Welcome to another episode of the Pat Down. I'm here, and we talking about, what the fuck we talking
Tiger
about?
King.
Tiger King, yes.
That I didn't watch. So I hope y'all enjoy this. I think it's very interesting. They blew my mind with this fucking Joe Exotic and his, what's this bitch name, Rambembo?
Carol Baskins.
This bitch Carol Basket. Carol Basket killing niggas with sardine juice on their toes. And y'all just stay tuned, because right after this music, y'all gonna hear our point and view on the fucking Tiger King.
You better get up, get out, and tune into this podcast. This Pat spit the truth, spit the real fact. Nothing but the ugly, classy at the same time. Pat got the flavor, these are not your same lines. That's the politics, she been on the real grind. It could be pretty but ugly at the same time. Just tune in, put your lock on the spin down. Ain't no need for the wait and turn it up now. What you talking about? Is it real though? And cut the game, you get no play like Nintendo. You wasted time, turn it up, nothing but the ugly. Straight off the top, everything she say, you know it's funny. Full blast, this a taste of the future. Listen on your iPhone, on your desktop computer. Share it, tweet it, ain't no way to beat it. Nothing but the ugly, turn it up and gon' repeat it.
All right, y'all asked for it. We're gonna talk about the Tiger King. Well, guess what? I didn't watch it, but Deon and Chris did.
Didn't watch it.
No, I didn't want to watch it.
What have you been doing? Nothing. Nothing.
You goddamn lie, I'm paying my basement.
3 weeks ago, she goes, make sure you watch this. We're going to talk about
That's the only reason I watched it, because she said she was going to watch it.
I'm glad I did, though. It was amazing. What did you think of it?
I watched the first episode.
Okay, all right. So you're familiar kind of with some of the stuff.
Yeah, I'm familiar with. He had the zoo in Florida. He was gay, and his gay boyfriend looked like Adam Lambert. With no money.
If he was on meth, that boy was ugly.
Who was Adam Lambert?
He sings with Queen now. He was on American Idol.
Idol. And he was like the first gay.
I'm talking about the one from
who are you? You might not
I'm talking about the one from The Voice.
That's why I was like,
Oh, is it the same guy? All right.
Adam Levine.
Wow.
Oh.
And that man does not look like Adam Levine at all.
No, I think
you
more Adam
white
Lambert.
Confused.
Well,
babe.
they say he looked like he from Wish List.
He looked like if meth was a person.
Imagine, and we're going to spoil the hell out of it, so if you haven't heard it, then turn it off. But imagine working on a documentary for what looked like, 10 years at least, and then not knowing if anybody's ever going to watch your documentary at all. And then you have the fortune of your documentary airing during the first pandemic in 100 years, and everybody's trapped at home across the world. Like, I am so happy for these people, because you can tell they put so much work into this over such a long period of time, and man, did it pay off. Just the memes all over the place. People are obsessed with it.
When I saw that he was keeping them fat ass tigers in his house, and don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to be racist, but I was like, this some white people shit. Somebody gonna get ate up by them goddamn cats. And then them people going to his little homemade zoo, and they was getting their pictures taken with the baby tigers. And I said, people are really fucking stupid. And then I don't know if I got to the second or third episode, but one man went back to the zoo and said, this is my third time this week. I said, nigga, how many times you want to take a picture with the motherfucking tiger?
He's wrestling them. I remember that guy. He's like, I'll pay any amount of money to see these tigers.
Yeah, I'm like, she was like, it's his favorite animal. Well, bitch, get him a box of Frosted Flakes. That's the closest I'm gonna get to Tony the Tiger. In calories, nigga. And so I didn't even watch the rest of it because I've been painting all week. But Deon was calling me, telling me what happened.
Carol motherfucking Baskin.
Fuck that bitch, Carol Baskins.
If she is not the Hillary Clinton of the tiger world, I don't know who is.
Imagine pretending you're the queen of all the tigers and you've got 10 of them in tinier cages than Joe Dirt has.
But I knew that bitch wasn't nothing. When she showed up, I said, this old hating ass bitch. She was like, I got tiger clothes. I got tiger underwear. Bitch, I don't want to see that you in your underwear.
Yeah.
I knew when she opened that had claws, and she went all them pictures she showed with leopard shit. I said, this bitch won't hug. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
This bitch is, I don't even know. I think I probably watched like 2-3 episodes. The bitch went to the White House in a cat outfit. I'm like, what the fuck is out? First of all, bitch, you shaped like a banana. You shouldn't be putting on no motherfucking tiger anything. Big folks don't look good in tiger shit. Tiger shit. You remember that joke I had about Lane Bryant? Stop fat people. Stay the fuck out of animal prints. It gonna get you tranquilized, bitch. And I kept saying, as ugly as she is, somebody gonna think this bitch don't escape from the zoo. And so I feel so sorry for the cat. I said, anytime you find people who meddling in other people's bed, it ain't because they feel sorry. Cause let me ask you this, because I didn't watch it. Was the man abusing the cats?
Which one?
Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I mean, there's a...
Not on camera.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you never see any tiger abuse other than when that motherfucker bit his foot and was dragging his ass through the cage.
Motherfucker.
He
fuck
busted
off me.
caps to get that fucking cat off.
Yeah, then he
Shot
starts...
the cat?
He shot at the cat, but he
Yeah.
didn't shoot the cat.
It depends on your definition of abuse, because there's different, if you're an animal person, then all of these people are abusing animals. Like I've talked to the people from there's a big cat rescue here out by Terre Haute in Indiana. They are awesome. They take great care of the cats. They have big open expanses for them to run in. They're very responsible. They got 180 cats.
Stop, Chris. A cat is the motherfucker at your house. So that's what they done to take care of?
They're taking care of leopards and
Well,
snow
nigga, that's
leopards
the
and
type.
tigers and lions.
Well, that ain't no
that
cat.
big cat. They all part of the same
Big
cat
cat.
family.
No,
Yeah.
that ain't no cat.
They all
a
part of
cat
the same-
be at your house rubbing around your motherfucking ankles. And you can't. The nigga leave your hair all over your leg like a black bitch. That down there ain't no cat.
It is a cat. It's just a big cat.
Yeah, they call them
Nah,
big cats.
They call them tigers and wolves and eat. Your little
Wolf,
cat ain't gonna
it's
eat a
not
motherfucking
a
thing.
tiger.
Yeah, those
Wolf
are dogs.
is not a cat. They're dogs. What are you doing?
Making this
There's a
podcast
difference
great
between
again.
you can put peanut butter on your dick and your cat will lick it off. That tiger will bite your whole motherfucking inside up.
It is cute how they are kind of like big. They are like cats, though. They were like nuzzling up. They were like nuzzling
So
up to each
finish
other.
telling me the story. So what was you saying?
All right, so Joe, all of these people, the one that seems to take the best care of the animals is the guy with the harem, the one who basically
Oh yeah, the
traffics
harem of
Doc
little
Antle.
girls.
Doc Antle, who basically traffics women into his and then
Yeah.
turns
Oh,
them
the
into
young
sex
girl, the
slaves.
child molester.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
Might as well, for all intents and purposes.
I'm trying to think of which one was the child molester because they all seem to have
They were-
some very problematic.
Every last one of them was horrible people.
Yeah.
Like you had nobody to root for.
The best one was the libertarian, Joshua Dial, my man.
Who is Joshua Todd?
He's the guy that literally every person on the internet has said, "Oh, that looks like Spangle."
That's the gay dude.
No,
That
not
was
that.
you.
The
That's the gay dude, is what she just
That's
said.
not the one who in jail.
No, I don't think you got to him. He was the libertarian campaign manager.
Is that the one who ran for the president? Oh no, Joe Dirt ran for
Yeah.
Joe
was-
Exotic is
Was that
the
his
guy.
like campaign manager?
That was, yes.
You know it's fucked up when a Libertarian Party campaign manager is the most normal person in an entire documentary. I mean,
Yes.
there were very few redeeming characters. Like the guy who was the basis of Scarface was the most responsible adult in this thing. And he didn't mind that somebody got cut up in the shower. So,
So there's three different tiger owner park people. So there's Carol Baskin. She has the park in Florida.
And she
Well,
murdered-
Joe-
what kind of
Joe
cats she
Exotic
got? Why
is-
she hate? What kind of cats did she have?
She had rescue cats, so people who would buy them when they were kittens, and then they would get too big, and so they'd be like, I don't know what to fucking do. So she would take them and
because that's a
take care.
huge industry. Like that's why there's 180 cats out here. I don't know what else to call them. Tigers, lions. Tigers are apparently the ones that like get bought the most, which Carol Baskins caused the problem to get worse because she went after Joe Exotic and was saying you can't do the tiger cub petting at the malls. And so
I got past that. She started fucking with his money.
And so
yes.
basically he couldn't afford to feed the cats anymore, so he turned to breeding. And so all of a sudden he's producing more of these cats and selling them to feed his tigers and putting more cats out into the world. So she really is an irredeemable person without just not even talking about the fact that
Well,
she
yeah, because
killed her
she
husband.
was meddling in some business that ain't had nothing to do with her. That was her first fucking
For her
thing.
own clout.
Like, you can't murder your husband by feeding him to tigers and then tell a nigga he can't make money at the mall. Like, bitch, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Did you get to that part?
No, I didn't get to the part where he told me about the bitch murder. Wait a minute. They say she murdered her husband.
Nigga, when OJ say you did it, bitch, you fucking
real.
did it.
So there's a
That's an expert. He ought to know.
there's a part in the documentary where Joe Exotic's shooting at the cats because he's like, they put peanut butter on my shoe. They're trying to get him to eat me. And she goes, why would anybody put cologne on someone's shoes? You put salmon oil on them if you want the cats to
Sardine
eat.
oil.
Yeah, sardine oil if you want them to eat them. I was like, what?
So she knows how to feed niggas to tigers. Like, and she done told on herself, just
They're
like
gonna
OJ
use-
did.
They're going to use this documentary to
They
convict her.
reopened the case.
They're going to use it
did?
to convict
Yeah,
her.
so her husband went missing. Like, he went to the police with a restraining order.
And he was
Because-
going to leave her the next day.
Because she said she was going to kill him. He had it in writing. He went to the police station and they were like, man, she ain't going to do nothing. The next fucking day, he was gone.
Disappeared. Drove off to Miami, she said.
And
And
nobody
she ain't
ever
never
seen
looked
him.
for him.
No.
But she ordered him to be like what is it called when they like kill you off or whatever? Legally you're dead.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was
Legally dead. And so then she was like, oh yeah, and I also have his document where he left me all his money and
power of
everything.
attorney. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he,
This girl's, she must have been a great lay because like 2 months into dating,
he picked her up. She was
right.
walking.
She was like,
She's introduced in the documentary by just a crying hoe walking down the street. Like, that's how we find out who she is.
Yeah.
She was walking down the street after getting into a fight with her husband. She was crying. Her future husband, sees her crying and says, hey, hold a gun on me. I just want to talk. So she gets in his truck, holding a gun on him, and he's just telling her, oh, I
How
had
many
problems with
years
my
that?
wife.
Because she was not that cute.
she was cute when she was younger.
She was like, yeah, this was
She
many
was married,
years ago.
married to a guy that looked just like the later guy that you never got to, Jeff. If you see a side by side of the first husband and Jeff, they look a lot alike. So she leaves that guy who's abusive when she's like 20 and marries Don, and Don is loaded.
Yeah, Don was worth like $8-9 million.
And then like 15 years down the road, he's getting ready to leave her, and then all of a sudden he goes missing, and like they do a full like cold justice episode with all of his family and friends. Like, yeah, she did it.
She definitely did
She 100% did it. He told me.
And then she did the even more gangster shit. She got the daughters and the ex-wife out of the will. Like,
Yeah.
And she did that before they got married. Like a year into dating this guy, she had him change all of his stuff to give her all the money.
And isn't she married? She got married again to an even like another rich guy.
Prince Charles Wish version, yeah.
this
The greater
goofy-looking
value,
motherfucker.
So when she
He gets
so
pegged.
so his ex-wife and daughters didn't get nothing when he died.
Nothing. Nope.
Not a goddamn.
And
It
she
all
was
went to
horrible.
Her
to
and
him.
the Tigers.
Yep.
That bitch Carol Baskin is a motherfucker.
So Joe Exotic, who is super pissed off about his income being stolen, goes and makes a music video about
That shit was lit as fuck.
I laughed so hard.
It was so bad.
He found a lookalike.
He hired a lookalike Carol, and this bitch looked exactly like.
I
Carol
mean, like
Baskin.
you and Ashley, close. I mean,
Yeah.
like dead on.
Wow.
And
And
she
he
is
dressed her up like she be dressing too.
and feeding rabbit heads to tigers, and he's like, "We just want justice." Oh, it's
But like,
so
if you
good.
go on YouTube, that's one of many of his songs. He has
But-
a bunch of them.
But what? But this, so evidently the song never caught on because nobody knew who the fuck they was.
No.
That are fighting him. I bet you that's hot now.
I have friends who have followed this guy for years. He apparently is like an underground
I
thing.
learned about him years ago.
Yeah.
That's why didn't even really watch the documentary. I was like, I
remember-
already knew this.
I remember seeing Doc Antle, the guy in was it South Carolina, I think.
Yeah, it's southern North Carolina, Myrtle Beach.
So South Carolina, he's one of the park owners. I remember seeing him on Dave Letterman when I was like 8 or 9 years old, thinking this guy's so cool. He's got fucking tigers in his.
Turns out you were right.
So
That's how he lured the children to him.
Did Carol Bassett fuck with anybody else's money or just Joe
Everybody.
Exotic?
She is out. So she is out for total domination. She uses her Facebook page, her Google position, and basically uses her clout to fuck with all of these other like lower end, not like the
She's supposed to be like the moral person. Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to add that.
Yeah, so she's like, yeah, exactly. She wants to be the queen bee. She wants to be in charge, even though her park is complete shit.
Yeah, she's got like 12 cats at her fucking
In
little
tiny
zoo.
cages.
It's like a backyard zoo, but she got more followers than all of them put
And
together.
this bitch doesn't have any employees. She makes everybody come out and volunteer.
She is the Heidi Fleiss of fucking
It
workers.
is unbelievable.
She is out. She's got color coordinated volunteers, Miss Pat. So you
What
get
you mean, nigger day, Chinese day, Asian day?
You start.
Wait, you ain't gonna tell me she got nigger day,
No.
Asian day, Mexican day?
No.
Oh, he said color coordinated.
Not-
He's scared.
They're
Get out
color
there.
coordinated by T-shirt color. So if you wearing like orange, it's like you brand new, you don't know shit, and basically all you do is clean up shit. And then you got to do that for like 2 years before you can move up the next color level to like green, where you get to clean out the cages. And sometimes you gotta, but none of these people get paid, and she's
And
got
they're all excited about it.
thousands of them.
Yeah, and they're all trying to fight for the next position. And she's like, I don't even learn the interns' names ever.
So there's an intern program where you can pay money to skip a couple of levels and you get an orange. Oh my God.
She is a
like a
hustler.
She is a
Psychology
fucking gangster ass bitch.
Yeah.
And you get, wait a minute, the bitch fed her husband, shut down Joe
Allegedly.
Exotic, pimp everybody else, and she motherfucker working for free?
Yes.
And she fucking a dingbat?
Yeah.
And you think she'd be like the most beautiful person in the world to trick these people into all this dumb stuff? And no,
She really is Queen Bee. She really do
something
look like a
else.
bumblebee in the face.
And so she
Oh, I seen the bitch. The bitch got, I would say, bitch, I don't know. I bet you when she opened her mouth, it looked like a garage door on the inside. So much fucking plant.
and her husband, man, like in the beginning you feel sorry for him, he's so beta, and then by the end you hate him more than you hate her. Because they're the most litigious couple. Like,
She gonna feed him too.
yeah, I don't know. I think she's going down.
no, it's too hot right now. She got to
Yeah.
let it die down for
Exactly
a couple
right.
years.
He-
And then
he's-
he gonna go missing.
So tell me about this whole Joe Exotic thing. So Joe go down because I kind of skipped around and I know that he ended up trying to get somebody killed his bitch.
Well, his beef started with her when she was fucking with him getting those mall jobs where
Right.
people,
Yeah, she
because
started
that was how
fucking
he was making his money. Like he was never fucking with her before that. Like he knew about her, but he ain't give a shit. Like he's in Oklahoma. So after she fucked with his money, he went down to Florida and took pictures.
He found out that somebody leaked. So he had like an online internet show, and there was this guy who basically made a TV show out of Joe Exotic, and someone who watched the show found a picture of her volunteers holding rabbits right as they were about to feed them to tigers. So he goes down and has a big play outside of Carol Baskin's facility where he dresses up like a rabbit and covered in blood in full furry costumes, and then has tigers attacking and eating him. He's like, fuck you, Carol Baskins, you fucking rabbit murderer.
Wait a minute. Real tiger was attacking him?
No, he
they were
had
all
people dressed
costumed.
up as tigers.
Yeah. They look like little Daniel Tiger
So
from
he
Mr. Rogers.
is so petty.
picture the Easter bunny costumes that people get. That's what Joe Exotic was wearing, and then other people were dressed up as tigers, and they were out in front of her place picketing and doing reenactments of tigers eating a rabbit.
And he snuck in like a secret camera, and then he like got up and he's like, Carol Baskin says she has 250 tigers, but she's a lying bitch. So I got this helicopter, so I'm going to survey her property.
So he flew over her crib to see actually how many cats she had. He took pictures in front of her sign,
Gave
like he
one-
had got, because he's got these bullet wound tattoos.
Yeah.
And so he took his shirt off and he's sitting in front of her sign, all with the bullet holes, like she killed him.
He gave one of the cat seizures from the helicopter. And then on his TV show, he would dress up like Carol Baskin real dolls and shoot him in the head with guns. Like the amount of guns I have never seen. Like all of a sudden, I understand what everybody's saying about gun safety because I've only ever been exposed to responsible gun owners. But then you watch this show.
This man.
He just shoot.
It's
Wait,
a
he
lot-
had his own house.
Stop. So he gave a cat a seizure?
Yes,
Go back.
Nigga, what happened? Like, did they put a spoon in his
he
mouth?
just laid there like this.
What happened?
It was a mountain lion, so it was afraid of loud noises, I guess. And when he got in the helicopter and flew over her crib, the cat was like, "Oh shit, oh shit."
So
Did she run out there to see about him?
yeah. So you're not gonna believe this, but Joe has a meth problem.
Shit, me. So his boyfriend.
Yeah. And so what Joe would do is he lured the first guy in with no teeth, and then would buy him all kinds of stuff, and then he lured in the young guy, the 19-year-old kid, with meth and tigers, basically, and he's like, Travis, the younger guy, was like, "But I'm not gay." And he goes,
Wait till I get through with it.
He goes, when you watch porn, do you like to see them with big dicks or little dicks?
And Travis goes, "You know what? Big dicks. Maybe I am gay." I couldn't believe it worked. And so Travis,
He goes, big dicks. He's like, gotcha, bitch.
That's how you turn gay.
yeah, I know. So he kind of devolves, and then he decides he's going to run for president in 2012 or 16. I think it was 16.
16.
So he runs in 2016. And it doesn't go so well, so he drops out and he decides to
Well,
run
let me
for
tell you why it didn't go so well. He makes all this. First of all, he doesn't have any money because Carol Baskin fucking sued him because he did like a copyright infringement on her shit. And so they taken all his fucking money.
Her place was called Big Cat Rescue, and he called his thing like Big Cat Rescue Entertainment.
Yeah.
And copied the logo and the website.
So he's doing all this shit with the Big Cat Entertainment Rescue thing, and she's like, "Oh, fuck that, we're going to court." So she sues him. So he's like, "I'm gonna go run for president," and he makes campaign condoms with his face on them, and he's giving them to kids.
And he's
How
paying
old is the kids?
little kids.
They're kids. It doesn't fucking matter how old they are.
So
Well, I can say this. When my sister's daughter got pregnant in the 6th grade, she invited everybody to the baby shower. So,
I know this is gonna be great.
my question is, if 6th graders can go to a baby shower, how old was it? Because Ramon didn't fit a condom.
No, Miss Pat, stop.
First of all, nobody wanted to know that.
I'm just saying.
All right, so let's get back on track.
We're gonna edit
Campaign.
that
You're
part.
talking about the campaign.
Okay, so before we get there, we got to talk about Jeff, who dresses like he dresses in Affliction t-shirts and bandana and has a hat on, a flat brim. This guy's 75 years old, and so
He gay too?
no, but
He gets a lot of pussy from tigers.
he pretends that he's rich, and he may be rich somehow, but he's like descended from circus people, and so he's got all this money. And so in an effort to keep Carol Baskins from stealing Joe Exotic's place, Joe Exotic turns to this guy Jeff, and then Jeff in turn takes over the place and then eventually like phases Joe Exotic out. And part of that is because he runs for office and basically makes a fool of himself, and he's
embezzles money
to pay for all these condoms with all the tiger camp money. He buys.
He had no money to pay for condoms?
No, because Carol's fucking sued him because his dumb ass wouldn't leave Carol the fuck alone.
So he was using the for-profit business to pay for campaign stuff and wasn't claiming it right, and so it was all illegal and embezzling. And so he brings on this guy named Josh Dial, who is the campaign manager.
Did he even make it on the ballot?
He did not.
But his campaign videos are absolutely
They're hilarious.
Because he's
I'm
like,
broke as
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I will say I had bisexual sex. Yeah, I do drugs. I said, what?
I've done drugs before. I'm broke as shit. And fuck Carol Baskin.
Hey, that sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
sounds like Donald Trump before Donald Trump.
I'm running as a libertarian, and that's why he lost.
He actually got third in the Libertarian primary, and so like everybody's like, I can't believe he ran, but yeah, he did pretty poorly. So this campaign manager is
You remind me of the man in New York saying, the rent is too goddamn high.
exactly, just that kind of fool.
And he was right.
And so, let me see if I can see post. Oh darn. So, anyways, I was going to play the audio, but he has these great
Why
campaign.
don't you play the audio?
Because I can't find it while I'm talking. And
Find it, Deon.
And so
The audio, what are you looking
of his campaign commercial, it's really, really funny. So he runs for office, and he's got this guy named Josh Dial, who is his campaign manager, and
Y'all really need to quit eating on air.
it's really gross. And so he Travis is getting more and more depressed because when you're in an abusive relationship, they isolate you and isolate you and isolate you.
Wait a minute.
And so
Joe Exotic was beating up Travis?
Yes. And so he was
The
basically...
young boy who didn't know he was gay.
Yes. And so his first husband, the guy who had the tattoo and
With
the
no
no teeth, who has great teeth now, by the way, he ended up leaving Joe Exotic for a woman who works at the ranch.
Today, this is not going out to any kind of a presidential candidate or any politician, because the purpose of this video today is to let you know who I am. First thing is, I am not cutting my hair. I'm not changing the way I dress. I refuse to wear a suit. I am gay. I've had 2 boyfriends most of my life. I currently got legally married, thank God. It's finally legal in America. I've had some kinky sex. I have tried drugs through the younger years of my life. I am broke as shit. I have a judgment against me from some bitch down there in Florida. But I can tell you, I paid a fine with the USDA, and that is nothing but a civil fine, ladies and gentlemen. That does not mean that I was accused or convicted of any kind of animal cruelty thing. I built one of the biggest facilities and the nicest facilities for exotic animals in this country as far as a private individual goes. I'm Joe Exotic, and don't forget, I am now stepping my foot in the ring to run for president. And this is all paid for by the committee of Joe Exotic Speaks for America.
A real American hero.
Jesus.
The first husband leaves him because he comes to his senses and goes, oh, by the way, I was never gay. And so
He was fucking the front desk lady.
yeah, forever.
Got her pregnant.
and they left. And then the second boyfriend, the younger guy, he starts getting real depressed, and he starts saying, I'm not gay either. I just wanted meth and tigers. And then
He just wanted meth and
tigers, yeah, and he starts getting like real erratic. And then one day he's sitting in the office with the campaign manager, and I don't know if it was an accident or a suicide, but he ends up getting killed by his own gun.
He blew his brains out.
Yeah. And you see the campaign manager's face when it happens. It is so disturbing, and I feel so bad for that guy.
That was the most fucked up part of that whole fucked up documentary.
It fucked him up so bad he's a Democrat now.
Fuck you, Chris.
True story. My friends interviewed him on a podcast. It's true.
Damn.
So then
So the depressed boyfriend blew his brain out in front of
yeah, and that makes Joe Exotic give one of the greatest eulogies
Oh my God.
in the history of eulogies. Can you pull up the audio of the eulogy? We gotta play it. It's just so
we're gonna take a break, and after
Okay.
this break, we're gonna come and play this Joe Exotic boyfriend eulogy. So
you won't believe it.
you will not believe it if you haven't seen it, because I haven't seen it. So I can't wait. It can't be better than my eulogy. Please, no talking. Turn your phones off. I'm almost done. Okay, what is it?
Not a day of mourning, but a day of celebration to celebrate the life of Travis Michael Maldonado. And we spent the last 4 years of our lives together. And I asked him every day, I said, why me? He said, because God put me here to make you smile, and that's my job. And it didn't matter how stupid he had to get. But if I was sitting there concentrating as short as I could on the computer to write a letter to a senator or a congressman or something else, he'd come and rub them balls in my face. And everybody who works here knows exactly what I'm talking about, because you've seen his balls. They were like golden nuggets to that boy.
And then that's him singing.
What was like golden nuggets to him?
His balls. His mother is front row, and he looks his mother in the face. He's dressed as a pastor. He's dressed as a priest, and says, he loved to make me smile by rubbing his balls in my face. They were like golden nuggets to that boy. Deon, if you don't give that at my funeral, you're not friends.
Was that the
I'ma die
Travis
before
mama?
you.
Was that Travis mama?
Travis's mom, yeah.
Yeah.
What did she do?
She cried.
She cried.
She's sitting there crying because her son blew his brains out, and this motherfucker's talking about how he loved his ball.
And made it all about him. And so Joe Exotic spirals even more, and so Jeff like pushes him out totally. Like it comes to light that this Jeff dude, who reminds me of my ex-stepdad, is under federal investigation too. And then there's like that gets sped up, and they find out that Joe Exotic's being investigated for embezzlement too. And they find that out because one guy got flipped over an illegal lemur, and so then he started snitching on everybody. And he looks like a fat old Chucky doll.
That dude was the fucking what's his name? Chris something?
No, fuck you. No,
that was his name though.
no, I don't remember what it was. Gerald or something. And so, and he literally, like, the federal agents come, because what happens is Jeff, who literally dresses like a piece of shit, he goes to this dude and he goes, I'll pay you $100,000 to call Carol Baskins and say, I've got some dirt on Joe Exotic. So he texts Carol and says, I've got some dirt on Joe Exotic. Carol immediately calls the police and the USDA and like the wildlife service, and then they show up to this fat Chucky dude's house, and they go, see that lemur there? That's illegal. You are in a lot of trouble. You're going to have to tell us everything. And he goes, I am? And he literally got flipped on a lemur. It was the funniest part of the whole thing to me. He started snitching over a lemur.
Them long neck motherfuckers make you tell the truth. So Joe Exotic partner, who he turned his shit on to, told fat Chris Chucky boy to call crazy bitch.
Yeah.
And she called the FDA.
Yep. And so Joe Exotic flees. He's out. He flees to southern
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
he do what?
To hide, basically.
Yeah.
Over a goddamn lemur?
No.
No, what they turned him in for was basically killing tigers illegally.
What was he doing with the tiger? Feeding to the other tigers?
Joe Exotic killed 5 tigers. He shot them and buried them on his property. So when the FDA people
Why he kill them?
So because they just needed to be put down, and apparently there's a process. But simultaneous to all this,
he must have took the cheapest process.
Yeah, and so simultaneous to all of this is he's talking all the time about killing Carol Baskins. And he's going to everybody talking about how he needs to kill that bitch Carol Baskins. And there's one dude that works for Jeff that works at the place that has a teardrop tattoo. So he, of course, assumes this guy's killed somebody. So we
didn't even mention the fact that he bankrupted his parents.
Yeah, it's not even in the top 5. Or the guy that's
Joe Exotic bankrupted his parents because of fucking with Carol Baskins so much.
They paid for the lawsuits, and she bankrupted them and wanted their house and the settlements. Like she was evil, and he was just as evil too.
They took the old people's house.
Carol is not fucking playing with these people
at all.
When I tell you she's that bitch, she's that bitch. I better stop talking about her, for she's gonna come try to take my $5.
So he goes to the dude.
Fuck around and get your cash out.
He goes, I'll pay you $5,000 to kill Carol Baskins as she goes out on her bike ride. And he goes, okay. And then Joe Exotic goes, okay, I can only get 3 by selling tigers. Okay. So he goes down there, he chickens out, he comes back. Somehow, I forget, the feds find out that this is happening, or Carol Baskins finds out.
Because what's his face? The
Chucky dude?
Chucky dude snitches.
Okay. And so wrapped up in all of it is a murder for hire plot, a conspiracy, and killing animals. And the murder, the tat eye guy, Jeff, all of them are complicit in it. All of them are doing something wrong, but only Joe Exotic ends up getting arrested and being put on trial for like he was facing like 70, 80 years for it, and ended up getting 22.
For a bitch that he didn't even kill?
Right.
He was planning on it, but he was broke.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of niggas say I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
But they don't kill you.
Well, when you make YouTube videos of blowing a blow up doll that's supposed to be Carol Baskin, like there's a lot of evidence of him wanting to do what he said he was going to do.
It was a great example. If they want to put you in jail, they can find reasons to put you in jail, and he gave them a lot of evidence that they could make it look like.
So let me ask you this. So who got Exotic World now?
So Jeff, that con artist, went to build a new exotic world with a guy who apparently this guy lives in southern Indiana now. They were forming a little partnership, building a new place down in Oklahoma, and that seems to have fallen through. And I think all those animals are now in southern Indiana at the guy who has the monkey, who goes in on it and then eventually like dyes the Hulk Hogan black mustache. I don't know what that was about. He apparently is in southern Indiana with all the animals.
And Joe Exotic is in jail for 22 years for just dreaming of killing a bitch, which I've heard a lot of niggas say, I'm gonna kill you.
Well, he conspired to murder her.
He said the guy went down there with a machete and a crossbow and was going to do it and chickened
what
out.
the nigga thought he was? An Indian?
Well, I think he was a felon, so he couldn't have had a weapon anyway.
Nigga, both of them were weapon. That crossbow go
gun.
through your ass and stick you to a cross. If it's sharp enough. But who the fuck go out and hunt a bitch with a crossbow?
I think he
Who
had
kills anybody for $3,000? What the fuck? That's not enough money.
I've known some niggas that shoot you for $50. So I mean, to him it was a lot of money. But so he went from Oklahoma to Florida.
The guy drove,
So he drove,
Yeah.
which is how many hours?
a lot of hours.
A lot of hours.
10.
Yeah, with a crossbow and a machete in your back seat.
Yeah.
And you get all the way there, and this bitch just riding her
Well, but he
motherfucking
made a
bike.
stop and got drunk, and that's why he didn't even go to Florida.
Yeah.
He ended up in South Carolina somewhere,
This guy tells his story while in a bathtub. He is
taking a bath.
He is taking a bath in a trailer, and they are interviewing this guy about his side of the story. And it's
Did
not.
he get locked up?
He did not.
No.
He got immunity.
Only because he stopped in North Carolina.
Because he snitched on Joe. The prosecutors just wanted Joe Exotic because Carol wanted Joe Exotic. And they were favorable to her, even though she's a murderer. So part of me goes, okay, this guy's clearly a danger to Carol Baskins and shouldn't be free. But also, I feel like he got railroaded, and those other people should have gone to jail too. Like, Jeff is a criminal. He's just nothing but criminal conspiracy walking.
So Joe Exotic get 22 years for dreaming of killing this bitch.
No, for trying to kill this.
For hiring a hitman on layaway.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's pretty much what he did.
I don't even think the guy got the money.
Yeah, well, most of the time they don't get the money on layaway. Usually people layaway go back. That's why they stopped him. So Joe Exotic get 20 years for hiring a hitman on layaway. And he's in jail right now with the coronavirus.
He got coronavirus.
And he got it from Carol Baskin.
That bitch Carol Baskins, have you no shame?
So I bet you anything, Carol Baskin visit him in jail and sneeze through that little hole. Achoo, motherfucker, I'm
He
out
sent
here.
him gold nuggets.
And the funny, they do phone interviews, and there's apparently some sort of prison Skype. And so you just see the top half of Joe Exotic's head with his little awful bangs that are, it's so
He
funny.
still got the bangs?
Yes, he has the same haircut in prison.
So when the guy was doing the documentary, I guess he didn't assume all of this shit was going to go down.
No, because he was it looked like from the beginning that he was just kind of following Joe Exotic, and then he went to Doc Antles and the crazy world of big cat people. And then all of a sudden, it's like he's lighting his alligator house on fire and killing
Alligator house.
So this is what happened. The guy who was making the Joe Exotic reality TV show was getting ready to make money off of it.
Yeah, I remember him.
And-
I got to that part.
Right.
Because Joe Exotic thought he had a TV show, but he was doing it shitty.
Right.
So this other guy came in who had TV experience. He had worked on some big shows.
Right.
Yeah.
And said, let me show you how to do it the right way. And it started making it look like a real fucking TV show.
So they got into a fight over rights to the show because he was about to sell it and make money off of it. And so what happened is Joe Exotic was like, well, fuck it. If you're not going to give me any money, then I'm going to burn this shit to the ground. So he burned down his own alligator housing that had all the footage
in the TV studio.
from the guy that he got into a fight with over the rights and shit.
And then doctored some footage to make it look like Rick was the one walking in that morning to do it.
Yeah.
And set that guy up.
So basically, this guy had been filming for 10 years and he got nothing out of it.
You talking about the guy from...
The one that was wearing a hat in the interview, he was getting ready to sell it for $1 million, the reality
Why
show.
would he give Joe Exotic anything?
Because Joe's fucking a nutbag, criminal, crazy piece of shit.
He probably would have, but Joe Exotic goes into his lawyer's office and records the whole conversation.
Yeah.
Like, if you were ever talking to Joe Exotic, somebody was filming all the time. He was so paranoid, he was constantly recording the conversations. And so he's like, I ain't gonna get nothing. He goes, well, it's really up to him. He owns all the rights. well, this is some fucking bullshit.
And so the next day, he fucking burns down all this dude's footage. He's like,
Kills 10 alligators.
yeah.
And then has the audacity, he boils the alligators alive and then has the audacity to blame Rick and then fundraises a bigger, better TV studio.
How the fuck do you boil the alligator? Were they in the house?
They were in the alligator house and the TV studio when he burned it all down.
It was connected.
So you didn't have the audacity to get the alligators out?
No.
So did he get a bigger, better studio?
He did. He fundraised a new one. It's just terrible what some arsonist has done to our alligators, and then he raised a bunch of money.
And so
It's like, first of all, why would the arsonist only burn down the studio? Like, if you're gonna burn shit, you're there. You might as well burn down every fucking thing.
Yeah.
So did he not? Did he? So was the man helping him on a new show?
No.
Or was the new
They
show
parted
a
ways.
shit show?
It seemed okay. He looked like
I think he acquired enough knowledge from this guy who was doing the show. He ran it by himself afterward.
I have been a part of so many circuses like this, and there's a lot about
it
that.
seemed like you have, Chris.
That whole
This is strictly white people shit.
Yes.
Fucking with tiger, ducks, and alligator shit that just we don't fuck with nothing that can't sit on your couch.
Yeah, I ran a campaign that was with a reality TV star, Rupert, great guy, nothing like Joe Exotic, totally opposite, great person. But we had a cast of characters on that show, and like I identified with Josh Dial, who's just got himself into a situation and too nice to get out, and this whole world, like Joe Exotic is the type of person that because he has some little bit of fame or social proof and he's interesting enough and it seems like people around him, he finds people who kind of have nothing going on and can convince them to do work for them and has just this manipulative power that he clearly uses in the same way that kind of Doc Antle.
Well, how can you turn down a nigga or a white man with the motherfucking bang and a fucking, what's that on the back of his head? Mullet.
How about the fact that if you didn't see this, Joe Exotic has an employee, Saf, who gets her arm eaten by a tiger. He does a costume change into a leather jacket with an EMS symbol on the back. Not only does he, in the middle of this crisis, do a costume change, he has that available. That was the wildest. That was one of the wilder parts to me too.
So, did he see about her arm?
Well, she came back to work after.
Yeah.
After the.
Did he have insurance?
I think he
I don't know, because he was paying those people $100 a week.
Yeah. He seemed to be underpaying people, and so they get a Walmart truck of old meat to feed the tigers, and then all the employees would go, oh, this bologna looks good.
All his employees were people who couldn't get jobs anywhere
Right.
else.
Felons or ne'er-do-wells.
Wow.
Just
So
like
she got an arm
hobos.
bit off, and he goes, "We had an accident, so if you want your money back, I can do that, I guess, or you can come back later."
He literally walks into the gift shop and makes this announcement, and everybody's eyes just get really big, and he goes, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
That shit was so crazy.
That's your concern right now.
So, the tiger eat a whole arm off.
Yeah.
She stuck her arm in the cage, and then the tiger grabbed her, and she tried to pull it out, and you can't pull your arm away from it. Like, once they grab you, it's until they decide to let you go, you're not fucking going anywhere.
What the lady at the...
So she tried to reach, and when she ripped, the tiger just held on, and so she yanked her own fucking arm off.
Yeah.
And so she didn't sue Joe Exotic?
No. She got it amputated, and then...
They were like, we can rehab it and put it back on, but that would take like a long time. And she's like, well, fuck it, just cut it off so I can go back to work.
So she felt bad
Because
for...
she really loved the tigers.
Yeah, and felt bad for Joe, so she
How
went...
the fuck do you find all these crazy people that's got the same interest?
They find you.
He was the most charismatic dude to get all these crazy people. Like the guy with no legs.
Yeah.
They got a nigga got an employee with no legs?
Yeah, and anybody
How can
who...
you roll a wheelchair on dirt?
He had anybody without limbs in this was a stellar person. Like the Libertarian campaign manager and the armless and legless people in this were the only normal.
So there's a guy who got his legs amputated from the knee down from ziplining accident. He broke both his legs and fucked up his legs. They had to cut his legs off. So he had two fake prosthetic legs that had tattoos all over him, and he was one of the tiger keepers. And he's like, what they did to Joe was wrong. It's some bullshit.
Nigga, what they did to your legs was wrong.
He did that to himself. So every one of the people that were on Joe's staff were like, they did him wrong. But then you got the guy Doc Anno in South Carolina, who's the sex cult leader.
He has a doctorate in mystical science.
Which just means he be tricking bitches for pussy.
Right.
Like,
Kept them young bitches. I saw him with his fat ass.
And I
said,
followed them all on Instagram. It's even younger now. Like, you should see what's up on that Myrtle Beach compound.
even when a man renames you, like when he takes away your biological name and gives you a name that he wants you to have,
Yeah.
you need to get the fuck away from that.
and
dude.
he makes you call him Lord.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody likes cats that fucking much to put up with that bullshit. They all have separate houses, and he's there. Like he'll be at one.
Can
bitch.
I ask you this? Is there any black people involved?
Shaq went one time.
I know Shaq went to go see Zach. I saw Shaq go see Joe Exotic. No, what I want to know is there any black people in the compound?
No.
The cat loving motherfucker.
No, I didn't even see any black volunteers at Carol's place.
Nigga, we ain't about to volunteer that much to read you out your motherfucking mouth for a shirt. We ain't about to be volunteer for no color coordinating. Time a white person say color coordinating. What? You put niggas in line? We better get the fuck out of here. No.
If I asked you to go with me to the Exotic Feline Rescue Center, would you go with me?
No.
Why
It's
not?
a great place.
Why wouldn't you go?
The Exotic Feline Rescue Center.
Where is it?
It's out by Terre Haute.
Yeah.
No, I don't do big cats. I don't do no cats.
You should
I
go.
don't-
They do a lion roar. And
That's
it's,
all right, nigga.
it's amazing.
Listen to this. Shut the fuck up! Did you hear that roar?
I hear it every time I come over here.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Excuse me, listeners. I hope I didn't scare you, but I can do my own line roll. I don't got to. I don't fuck with animals. I don't know why
We're gonna
people,
get her to go.
We got to.
We're getting you to go.
You're
got
not gonna get me to go to no motherfucking with no big ass cats that weigh more than me. I can't fight them niggas. Them niggas got hands like bells.
You're not gonna fight them. They're behind fences.
No, nigga. Did you just tell me that he ate that bitch arm
Well, she
off?
stuck her arm inside the fence.
But he didn't even think that it wasn't his arm to give back.
I know.
What they told me in the
What's
interview
inside the cage belongs to them.
is that if they're feeding, they're aggressive. But that's the only time that they're like. The rest of the time, they're like they'll have different personalities, and like lions are.
Nigga, I'm not fucking with no bipolar tigers. 1 minute he want to fuck you, then he want to beat you, then he want to eat you. I don't got time for that.
She has dealt with a lot of abuse.
It's
in her
true,
life.
yeah.
I've done with a lot of abuse.
You don't
nigga.
need Tony the Tiger to whoop her
Yeah, I
ass.
don't
Yeah,
need Tony
right.
the Tiger to eat me. I'm done being ate. Okay. You know?
Crab did a number on her. She don't.
I don't need no.
Poor Garrett. I'm
Yeah,
done being
I'm
ate.
done being ate. I
All
don't
right.
want no sex. I don't want a goddamn thing. You ain't taking me no motherfucking
We
tiger
are so
paw.
going. We are
We have
so
to.
going.
No, we're not
I
going.
love this place. I've been like 8 times.
Really?
Yes.
That's
It's
because
really
you date
fun.
white women.
What does that have to do with anything? There were black people there.
No, they weren't.
Get it?
Right. See, now you know how I feel when you guys do it to me.
No. Ain't nobody going.
You
to
would
take-
like it.
What make you think? Do they take kids
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do what?
You just walk through the park. You see the animals. You can. They tell you about them. You hear their backstory. There's one tiger there that loves to pee on people.
Do you ever heard of YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't pet at a YouTube.
Who the fuck want to pet them niggas?
I do.
Have you not seen the side teeth on
you
them
would not.
bitches?
You would not catch me touching them. No, I don't.
Oh, I would ride one.
Oh, you really would?
Yeah, hell yeah. Imagine if I rode in here in a lion one
We
day.
would beat
You
your
look like
ass.
one of them. You look like one of them Idaho niggas. What was that show we were talking about?
Boise, or what's the one where
Abducted and plain sight type nigga. I ain't fucking. I don't do none of that shit.
We're totally getting her.
we have to.
So if you would like for me to take you on a practice drive-by with a water gun, nah, I do that. But I ain't fucking with no tiger.
If you are serious about taking me on a practice run for a drive-by, we're doing that for the YouTube.
I'm not fucking. With
Yeah, okay. We better be out here because we go on the east side. You might get shot bad at.
What have I got to lose at this point?
your life.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the car in front of me and say, point that gun at him, Chris. Pull the trigger to it, Chris.
Gee, Miss Pat, why are you drawing this circle on me? And another circle? Wow, another circle.
You ride by, say, free niggas! Drop Stop that shit. And see what happened, Chris, on the east side, where every time I wake up, is a fucking news report that somebody been killed. So if you would like to go on that practice drive, do you want a real gun or a fake gun?
Oh, I think if you're going to do drive-by, you want to go real gun, right?
Oh,
no, let's not
problem.
fuck around.
Just jump out and say you the police. They'll believe you. I ain't fucking with you, Chris. I'm not going no Tiger Park.
Freeze, sirs.
And then
You're
you
going
want
to
me,
the Tiger Park.
You want me to go see Joe exotic animals that he done lost, and he trying to get out and kill Carol Basket? Nigga, how we not know he don't get out from coronavirus and just be there in the woods?
God,
we done got caught up in some motherfucking custody over some cat. I don't got time for that kind of shit, Chris. I don't get into that white flight shit. No, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna go in. Nigga, bring your cat over here to the door.
All right.
I rub that fat motherfucker, slam the door in his face.
You really hate cats.
I don't like cats because they're useless. They don't do shit. They just rub up on you. Like my cat my next door neighbor had a cat. This was old hood ass cat right here. This cat was the hoodest motherfucker. If this cat was a human, he'd be a nigga with no job. Let me tell you what this cat used to do. This cat used to grab rabbits and shit out the side of the house and beat they motherfucking ass. One time this nigga had a rat about big as him, slamming this motherfucker like they was WWE. So I go and knock on the door and I say, y'all need to come out here. Your motherfucking cat out here getting his ass whipped by this rat. They out there tussling like two niggas, right? No lie. The little girl who I call Dennis the Menace next door, I think she Dennis the Menace. That motherfucker crazy. She come out there and grab the rat and choke that motherfucker out and sling him to the ground. I said, oh, hell no. Y'all crazy. And I went in the house.
What?
She choked that motherfucking rat out the cat mouth. The cat like, Nick, bitch, I had it. Bitch. I ain't asked you for your help. But I'm looking at the cat like, I think you needed some help towards the end. That rat was about to whoop your motherfucking ass. And you know a rat mad when they stand up on their two leg, nigga. When they stand up on their two legs, he was like, bring it on, you fat motherfucker. He was out there fighting like a motherfucker. So you ain't about to eat me, I'm about to eat you.
Tussling like two niggas. The story of a next door's neighbor's cat.
Man, my next door neighbor, she got 3 girls.
Tussling.
Man.
Tussling is such a great word.
I know.
Tussling. My next
know
door
that I've
neighbor.
ever
Sounds like
heard-
an album.
I've never heard that word, but I knew exactly what you meant.
Tussling, wrestling. Yeah.
Right.
Man, one time I came home, I'm driving down the street and about 6 o'clock in the morning, I usually go to Speedway and get my coffee and shit. And so I'm coming in, it's summertime. Probably about 7, I look up and my next door neighbor daughter done clammed on the roof, sitting up there with her cat. And she probably I'm thinking, she only know if she was in the kindergarten at the time. I'm beating on the door. Wake up, bitch. Wake up. And I finally get the mama to the door. She was like, well, I see your motherfucking daughter on the roof with your cat. So she step in the yard. Go in the house. And the little girl one more, I said, get in the motherfucking house, bitch. She looking at me like, don't talk to my kid like that. I'm like, but she on the roof. That motherfucker Dennis the Menace, boy. I come home one day early in the morning from getting coffee. She got her little portable little truck out there. I don't even think she in kindergarten yet. She got traffic backed up, crying in her car because her battery died.
Aww.
And the people too nice in my neighborhood to sling that shit in the yard and make her go in the fucking house. I go around, I said, get your motherfucking ass in the house, nigga. I said, why you out here? I said, do your mama know you out here? My battery died. Fuck your battery. I threw that goddamn car in the driveway and made her take her little ass in the house. But everybody else just said about it. Oh, she's so cute. Her battery died. I said, bitch, I got to get in the house. My coffee about to get cold.
Tussling like two niggas too. Miss Pat throws the car in the driveway. Coming this summer.
My neighbors, one little girl, she like Dennis the Man. Boy, I bought my kids some scooter one year, and an electric scooter, and they was scared to ride them because they was so fast. So I said, let me tell you, I said, ain't nothing wrong with this scooter. That motherfucker, that door ride, that motherfucker. I said, hey, put your door on there. That bitch was zoom. She was gone on that motherfucker.
I want to meet this kid.
So I said,
awesome.
y'all some pussy ass niggas. Look how she ride that motherfucker, throw her little foot out and hit that motherfucking wheelie, went around that corner and came back. I said, this bitch crazy.
Dennis the Menace.
I call her Dennis the Menace. Ever since I've known her. When I saw her choke that red eye, I said, this a bad bitch right here. One
Hanging on
time,
the roof in kindergarten with a cat.
One time a rabbit fell down in Gary on the window, right? And so we scared to get it. So I was like, go in the door and get the little girl. She'll get that motherfucking rabbit.
This is the first time Gary Allen went outside in years.
Yeah.
The daddy ended up coming over and get him. I was like, what we gonna do with him? He's like, we just gonna let him go and hop because we got a lot of rabbits around here at night.
Right.
And he's like, I said, you just gonna let this motherfucker hop around the neighborhood? I guess so. But that little girl in that door, she done growed up now, but that's a tough motherfucker. Boy, I can see the day she get a boyfriend, she gonna choke hold that nigga out. When I saw her choke that rat that day, yank that rat out that cat mouth, I said, oh, she crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck. I said, Raymond, that's the type of girl right there you need to bring home. That motherfucker gonna fight for you right now. She's a tough motherfucker.
She might.
I think she will. Mm-hmm. I don't think you get no crazy in my next door neighbor daughter. And it's 3 of them, but I think she the toughest one. I don't even know her name. I just call her Dennis the Man. She don't play that shit. She don't play that shit. What?
Well, so are you going to finish it now that we've talked about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it.
Does it interest you more now that you kind of, even though it's spoiled?
It interests me then. It is spoiled. I mean, it interests me then. I've been painting and shit. Right. I just haven't had time.
Just turn it on and listen to it while you're painting, because you don't need to watch it as long as you hear it's just fucking ridiculous.
If I watch it, I know we're gonna have a part 2 to this shit.
I've watched it 1.5 times, and the second time that I was going through it, I saw so many more things that I didn't see the first time. And I don't know how. And I was just like, how did I miss that? Like, you know, like...
You were blown away by the shit you heard.
Yeah, like, because I was busy tweeting going, did you guys see this shit? I mean,
that's
really
how I
amazing.
was when I watched it abducting planes. So I was like, this is it was the craziest shit I ever seen. Everybody like, oh, Miss Pat, you got to watch it. So I didn't watch it. We're going to do one with me watching it. And then we're going to come back and do another one without me watching it. And then we're going to do another one with me watching it. Because now y'all make me want to watch it even more. I want to see these boyfriends and this campaign he ran.
Oh, my God.
Because I've been seeing it on the internet. I was like, that's like you said, it's got to be great that your documentary fucking drop in a pandemic and the world just catch on to it.
Everybody's talking about it. I mean, it was literally just, if it wasn't coronavirus memes, it was Joe.
But everybody who was asking me in the group to watch it, the fan, they was like, but Miss Pat, we gotta warn you, all white people ain't like this. I was like, what the fuck is happening with Joe Exotic?
Everybody from Oklahoma said, no, we are all like this.
My husband was stationed in Oklahoma.
Was he?
Yeah, when he was in the military, he was stationed.
I didn't know he was in the military.
He don't tell anybody he was in the military. He was there for 5 years.
Well, you probably shouldn't have said it.
Oh, it don't. I mean, he don't go around like most people. I am a military
I'm a veteran, yeah.
Yeah, he don't do all of that. He'll never tell you he's a veteran. He went to the Persian Gulf.
Wow.
Yeah, he was in war.
What branch?
Army. He was in the Army. Yeah, he fought for this country and everything. Oh. But he'll never tell you. That's when I met him, when he first got out.
Okay.
Yeah, he had just gotten out. I don't even think he had been out a year when I met him.
Wow.
Yeah, he went to he said he saw Hussein Palace. He said it was beautiful.
So was he from Atlanta then? And then
he's from Atlanta. Home. And he said, I said, what made you join the Army? Because his daddy was Navy. I think Navy. His daddy was Navy. I said, what made you join the Army? And he said he got in the car with this drug dealer in the neighborhood, and the guy wanted him to be a drug dealer. And he talking to him about, how he can show him how to make money. He said, oh, okay. And on Old National in Atlanta, they were passing and say, the Army wants you or some shit. He said, oh, yeah, I was going right there. Drop me off right here. And he said he sick of this nigga he was riding with in the car and got out and walked in. He said, sign me up for this nigga. He'll sign me up.
That's awesome.
And he ended up going in the Army. I said, boy, you did make a different choice, because you would have made a lot more money as a drug dealer. So he said that's how he ended up going to the Army. He was there for 5 years.
My dad was a Marine. He was stationed in Okinawa. And he said, if they hadn't sent me home, you'd have never been born. My dad loved Japan.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather was in the Battle of Okinawa in World War II. Yeah, he snuck in at 16 years old. After Pearl Harbor, he had his parents falsify his records for him so he could sneak into the war.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did he want to go to war?
He wanted to really bad, and he broke his back in basic training and healed up and then got sent over around 18. He was in the Battle of Okinawa, and he was bayoneted on the beach so badly that the Red Cross left him, and he ended up surviving and came back, met my grandma, and then they were in love forever.
So wait a minute. He got what on the beach?
He got stabbed, basically.
Why did Red Cross leave him?
Because he was so bad laying there on the beach that they were like, he'll never make it. Just go to somebody who has a better chance.
So
somehow he survived.
So some Japanese people got him and took care of him?
No, after the battle was over, they picked him up and he healed up. It's kind of a miraculous healing. I mean, it's really amazing.
So while the fighting was going on, he got stabbed.
Yeah.
And then the medics were like, oh, we can't save him.
Yeah.
So then the battle wraps up, and then they're getting the bodies and whatnot.
Right.
He's still alive.
Yes.
And so they do treat him.
Yes.
And then he survives. Well, that's
Did you see any cuts on your granddaddy?
No, I didn't. I didn't ask to examine his cuts. I don't think he made it up.
You have to be careful with them war stories. Those people be lying.
I only know this story because my grandmother told me the story.
Did you meet your granddaddy?
Yes. He died in 97.
You know a lot of black kids don't meet their granddaddies.
Yeah, he was...
Like a sneaker, as Deon say.
I was fortunate that I got to meet my great-grandparents on my dad's side.
I met my great-grandparents on my mother's side.
I didn't have any grandparents.
That sucks.
Oh, I had my granddaddy. Yes, I did. I had my granddaddy. But you know, my grandmama was poisoned with liquor. And
What do you mean she was poisoned with liquor?
she used to be an alcoholic.
Oh.
This is a story my
I thought
mama
you meant
told.
like somebody put something in her drink and she died.
Yeah, that's what happened.
What?
That's
Why
what
have I never heard this?
I don't know. I don't talk about my grandmother. My mother said, and my uncle died like that too. My mama said that her mother was an alcoholic and she used to go to this bootleg house and drink all the time and they poisoned her. And I remember as a little girl, my uncle was the first person I ever seen or ever heard of dying. And he used to be at this liquor store on Simpson Road in Atlanta. And he was poisoned in his drink. I told this story before. My uncle, remember?
I've not heard it, no.
Really? So I thought I told this story before, but my uncle died, and so I went to school with my cousin who wouldn't claim me because we was poor, and she was coming from a better household. So even though we was first cousin, her mama and my daddy was brothers and sisters. So she was my fucking first cousin, but she wouldn't claim me because we was like the dirty cousins. You know, we was a cousin that we was part of the family that you didn't fuck with. They was more of the bougie niggas. And so she wouldn't speak to me and she would talk about me and shit. So I was like, well, fuck you, bitch. You don't want to be my friend because I just want to be her friend. I didn't even want to be her cousin. I just want to be her fucking friend. So my dumb ass did the most stupid shit. We went to my mama went to my uncle's funeral. You know, black people love taking pictures of people in caskets. So I took all her daddy casket pictures to school and showed them to everybody.
God damn. What the fuck?
Fuck you, bitch. Here's your dead dad. Is that what I just heard?
Look, y'all, look what her daddy looked like dead.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I was like, that's why
No wonder those kids were so nasty to me earlier. My God.
Said, that's why your daddy is dead, bitch. And he died of being drunk. And she just cried because she was like, I think she was more of a daddy's girl. And
is that the worst thing that you've ever
it wasn't
heard
worse
her
for
tell?
me because I was a dirty cousin and she wouldn't speak to me. And even though we was first fucking cousins, our mama and daddy was sisters and brothers. But she would not speak to me. She thought she was better than me. We went
Still alive?
I don't even know her name. I remember her being in like
The
a great.
audacity that you would ask.
I don't know her name, but I just know her last name. Her last name is probably Walker because that's my mama them name. But she didn't fuck with me in school, and she was like maybe a grade or two higher than me. and we was first fucking cousins.
And ever since you showed her daddy's funeral picture, she hadn't fucked with you since?
She was just crying, and they took us into the office, and they was like, how can you do that? I was like, fuck her. She won't speak to me. I was just trying to be her friend.
That is so sad on both sides because you just wanted her to like you.
I just wanted her to like me. And then,
You did make it very easy.
Yeah.
well, she never fucks with us. Like, even though her daddy was a drunk, and my uncle would come to our house. Her mother would come to our house for her daddy, but she was just too good to get out the car. So they felt like they lived down not far from us. And I just felt like they felt like they was better than us. The mama probably was educated too. It was two of them, but I went to school with the younger sister. I don't even remember her fucking name, but it was my uncle. What was his name? My uncle, we used to call him Uncle Bo. I don't know what his real name was, but he died that's the first person I ever heard died. And he died, he got poisoned of alcohol. He used to be behind a liquor store on Simpson Road all the time.
How old were you when you took the death pictures?
I didn't take the death picture. My mama took them. Because, black people love to take pictures of you at the funeral and the casket and shit and put them in the scrapbook.
How old were you when you went to school?
We was in elementary, so we was probably in the 5th grade.
Old enough to know better, but too young to know any different. That's
so I just wanted her to be my friend. Matter of fact, we was going to, it was either English Avenue or Kennedy. So we was either 5th or 6th grade, Kennedy Middle. Because middle school started at 6th grade back then. So it was either English Avenue, I want to say it was Kennedy. We was 6th grade. And she was a higher grade than me, but she would not speak to me. And then after I showed everybody the picture, they were like, oh, look at your dad in the casket. That was one day everybody liked me. And so they were like, oh, Patricia got a picture of your daddy. Kids just being fucking stupid.
Look at me.
That is... So, you would have been expelled if you went to Plainfield.
So they bring us up to the office, and they asked me for the pictures. And I was like, no, this is my uncle. And then they was like, what you mean? I said, these my uncle pictures, and my mama took these pictures of him. They like, do your mama know you got pictures of her brother here? I was like, no, I thought maybe she wanted to see her daddy.
Lying on his back while I'm making fun of him. What the fuck? No.
Boy, my mama was mad at my ass. You stupid bitch, why would you do that? I was like, because she wouldn't be my friend. So I got that bitch back. And she never spoke to me, because I ended up dropping out before we went to high school. She never spoke to me again.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, honestly, I don't blame her.
She looked at me sideways and rolled her fucking eyes, and she just never spoke to me again. I could still see that moment in that hallway when she saw that I was showing everybody her dead daddy. Because my mama took good pictures with a Polaroid.
She was a dead daddy artist. She was the Ansel Adams.
Dead daddy artist.
The Ansel Adams of dead daddies.
I don't know who the fuck that is. But you sound like a good...
Like, don't you fuck with me, bitch. I know how to get you back.
Yeah. She said her mom took great... She shook the shit out the pictures.
She shook the shit out them pictures. They were Polaroids, too, and it was a stack of them, too. And I don't even know why my mama still...
I gotta get a different angle.
It was a Polaroid.
Got a dead daddy photo shoot here.
Tilt your head back. Oh wait, never mind.
Say cheese. Cheese.
Y'all don't take pictures of people in caskets.
No,
we do that shit, don't we, Deon?
Black people do, yes.
No, I've never seen that.
Black people take pictures. I remember when my niece Quisha died, and her mama said no photos. Now,
really?
Yeah, you remember that, Ashley? Quita. Who did I say?
Quisha.
No, not Quisha. Lord, no, not Quisha. Quita. When my niece Quita.
Sounds like
a
weird name for a vagina. I touched her queeter.
Better go watch your damn man.
Her mama said no photos. But it's a lot of funerals like that. Everybody takes picture of dead people in the casket.
I hate open caskets, and I remember going to one funeral and the spouse was touching the body, You know, it was like, and it was a sweet thing. Like, this is the last time I get to hold their hand. But I just remember thinking, like, ugh, why are you doing that? That's so creepy. Like, I don't go
can't
up
do
to
the ones that kiss them. Like, people was kissing my granddaddy and shit. I can't kiss the dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I cannot. My hats go off to you if you do that. If you do dead people hair and then bomb them. I can't. You know. So I was talking to a man in Philly. You can go to Philly with me. In Philly, and he was telling me he was a comedian. He said he embalmed bodies, and I said, well, do they make noise? He was like, when the air escapes the body, it needs to get all the way out of the body. So sometimes when you be riding them down the road, they be like, "Rrr." I said, nigga. He be saying, air be trapped in their throat. I said, nigga, when I tell you that car be wrapped around that goddamn pole, or I be done put that nigga out on the bus stop, ain't nowhere the fuck you gonna be in no car. Me and you goggling, and they just told me you dead, and it sound like you back there brushing your motherfucking teeth. Scaring the dog shit out
I'll
of
make
me.
it right. Don't take no pictures of me.
Why you think you see how they did Whitney when she died? They went and took her picture.
No.
Oh yeah, they sold that to the tabloid, though. You just don't tell poor nigga
Right.
pictures.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
They took her picture to funeral home people after they promised they wouldn't do that shit. But they did it for Whitney for money. But they do it all. If you go over old people's house, like if I guarantee you my Aunt Gloria Jean got a picture of everybody that done died in our family.
Would she have like the little Fujifilm one?
No. She got Polaroids of everybody.
Euro.
I bet you my cousin probably got my granddaddy in the casket. Because I remember going to his funeral and they were taking his picture.
Why would you want to look at that later, though? Like, look at them when they're full of life and vigor and blood.
Well, you keep them. Some people blow dead people pictures up and put them in their house. And some just keep them in the photo album.
That's like
my uncle died in September, and when we went to the viewing, all his pictures were of, it was open casket, but nobody took pictures of him in the casket.
Oh no,
we probably would have whooped your ass if we even saw you.
Yeah.
Like,
nah, they took out their phone. They got phone number. Back in the day, everybody had a Polaroid around their neck, nigga.
So back in the day with the daguerreotypes, like the old photos, like 150 years ago, 100 years ago, if somebody would die, they would take you right after you died. They go, we got to make a photo appointment, and they'd like put a metal rod up your back to hold you up, and the whole family would get around you, and you'd take a picture with the dead person. Like if you look up death photos, You'll see a ton of those because they were like, "Hey, we don't have a picture of this guy. Let's get one." So it was very common.
No, we did it,
ago.
but they was called casket pictures.
Yeah,
and if you didn't have a casket picture, you wasn't shit. It was like you had to get a casket picture. I mean, because I guess people look at it. Black people look at it like this: when you look back 30 years from now, you want to see your uncle. Here he go when he was alive, and here he go on Polaroid when he was in a casket. So they want to show you beginning and the end. But black people got a lot of Polaroid cameras. And y'all let me know if y'all go to funerals, not with the fucking cameras, because I know people do it now when people die in drive-bys and shit like that. But I'm talking about Polaroid, dead people. Let us know if your relatives got Polaroid dead people, and watch the response when you see it.
do not post it. I don't want to see it.
No, don't post your dead people now. That ain't right. Just let us know if you ever been to a funeral and a nigga had a Polaroid around his neck.
You got to clarify, because Deon and I will get a million of those if you don't.
yeah. Y'all let us know, and I know they out there because I have my granddad in the casket. I think my aunt took pictures of my daddy when he died.
Really?
Yeah. She took pictures of him. I know when my grandmother died, which was my daddy's mama, they took pictures of her in the casket.
did you take pictures of your dad when he died?
Nigga, no. I think my aunt did. I don't have time for all that. I'm the type of person, I don't believe, this is just me. I don't go to nobody's grave. You know, of course, I've said this 100 times. I said my mama's on fire, but I just feel like you should leave the dead alone. You should leave them alone. Nobody want to hear your earthly problems.
I've gone to visit my grandparents' grave just because I wanted. My grandpa was in it at the time. My grandma hadn't died yet. I just did that once.
Well, like my niece who passed away, she got killed, and every year black folks do this. They get they spray painted T-shirts and they go to the grave and do a party. Every fucking year. It's like it's a birthday. They celebrate her day she died and the day her birthday.
That's cute.
What?
Weird.
I like that.
Because she died in February. Her birthday is in March. So they just got through celebrating her birthday. But the day she died was February to something. They was out there at her grave with balloons and shit.
Yeah, like keep the memory of the family member alive.
No.
Yeah, I don't go.
Rest in peace parties. I've talked about them before. Black people are big with rest in peace parties. They require T-shirts and barbecues. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, especially when I know the way the motherfucker died. Sometimes these motherfuckers be done died robbing the liquor stores and shit. I ain't going out here and celebrate this nigga. He the reason why all taxes high. Man, you got to think about this. When somebody steal out of stores, they make shit higher in that community.
Yeah.
So if you stealing, 9 times out of 10, if it's a ghetto, the prices are already high. Well, they're gonna put those prices back into them. And put the prices back into the item that you purchased so they can make up for all the theft. I don't got time for that. They're like that comedian we talked about one time who in the wheelchair. Mm-hmm. That nigga. Every time I see him, I want to kick his motherfucking legs.
He wouldn't feel it.
They beat my legs, Charlie Murphy.
All right, well, we got to wrap up.
We really enjoyed y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay safe, and we're going to try to keep pumping this shit out through this quarantine or whatever the fuck it is until we all get back to work. And I pray and hope that y'all all get a stimulus check. Are y'all getting stimulus checks?
I hope so.
No.
I don't think I will, but I pray and hope all of you guys get stimulus checks. Keep your hand washed, your ass closed, and stay prayed up. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of The Pat Down. Make sure you check out my website at misspatcomedy.com for all of my social media, my tour dates, my book. Make sure you spread the word about my podcast. Please rate and review. Please rate and review and share. Thank y'all so much, y'all. I've been Miss Pat.